I was a Bitcoin skeptic. In 2013, I thought it was going to go the way of online gambling, but I didn't really understand it and I didn't really need it. In 2013, and it was a much younger, more immature asset and a more immature network. So I think it took me till 2020 for me to need it. And then until you need it, you're not going to put in the effort to understand it. And luckily for me, by the time I needed it and by the time I understood it, it had matured to be a much stronger network. Look, I think that Bitcoin it's the technically superior asset in the world. It's digital gold. And if I had to figure out how to invest a treasury, I'd have to go through, do I want to own cash? Do I want to own gold? Do I want to own an index of stocks or bonds or commercial real estate? And the ideal thing to own is 1/21 millionth of everything there's ever going to be, and if Bitcoin is like Manhattan in cyberspace, then we bought 71,000 city blocks of it. And it's a long duration safe haven asset. You can't debase it. It's not a fiat derivative like a bond or a stock. And so if you're looking to the long term, out like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, then owning Bitcoin is like encrypting your monetary energy in a way that will preserve it without any degradation over the long term. Every investment's getting a lot harder. It's very complicated. That'll shake you out of your comfort zone and kick you into a search for something new. And that's how I discovered Bitcoin. And that's how most people are discovering Bitcoin. They've been forced out of their comfort zone. They need a safe haven asset, which is not pegged to fiat cash flows. It's not a function of the cash flow forecast or the bond coupon or the real estate rents. So what would that be? Gold? Well, gold was the best idea in the 19th century. And we can have a debate over how it worked in the 20th century. But in the 21st century, if God came down and he created perfect gold, he would create 21 million gold coins, put it on a network that you could move at the speed of light if you wanted to, and make it impossible for anybody to ever create any more gold. He'd make it impossible for a bank to steal your gold. He'd make it impossible for anybody to lie to you about how much gold they had in the vault. He'd make it perfectly transparent and he'd give it to you. That's what Bitcoin is. It's digital gold designed with all of the attributes we love about gold, none of the liabilities. Gold's dead money. Sell your gold. Buy Bitcoin, because other people are going to sell their gold. And if you wait until you've been front run by all the hedge funds, when they dump their gold, you're going to be the last person out. I think gold's getting demonetized. That is, like being demagnetized. It's like there's $10 trillion worth of monetary energy in gold right now. Eventually, it'll only be the central banks that'll want to hold it. Every private rational actor is going to move out of it and move into Bitcoin. What is it good for? Well, people held gold for political unrest. Lord knows you got enough of that this year. They hold gold as a hedge against money printing. We got a lot of that this year. Why hasn't gold tripled? Gold had a slight bounce up, but look at every asset class for the last 6 months. Look at gold, look at NASDAQ, look at S&P, look at bonds. They're all chopping. They're not going anywhere. What's working? Bitcoin's working. It's tripled or quadrupled, but let's say tripled, easy. Square is working because Square plugged into Bitcoin's network. Square lets you buy Bitcoin on a mobile app. PayPal's working because PayPal's plugged into Bitcoin. It runs on a mobile app. Grayscale is working because they plugged their mutual fund or their investment fund into Bitcoin. Things that are plugging into this digital monetary network are working. Things that are running on top of traditional fiat euros and dollars, they're chopping. They're not working at all because the currencies are collapsing. And no company can be successful, no matter how competitive it is, if it's generating revenues in a currency which is collapsing or weakening. And so that means none of those stocks are going to be a store of value if their currencies don't hold value. You're swimming against a 15% annual monetary inflation current, which is in your face. It's a wind blowing in your face right now. You're going to see an avalanche of smart money in the investment community, and you're going to see an avalanche of smart CEOs, and you're going to see high net worth individuals. Oh, it's like, you can have your gold. This year you got 18% return on your gold, but if you bought Bitcoin, you got 290% return on your Bitcoin. That's been going on. It didn't happen this year. It's been going on every year for a decade. Bitcoin's running 200% on average annually every year for a decade. So I guess my answer would be, how many years you have in your life? Because if I show you something that's doing 200% a year and the average thing is doing 10% a year and the best thing did 20% a year, and you wait 5 years, you gave up 5 out of 30. You wait 10 years, you gave up 1/3 of your life. You're going to wait 15 years and give up half your working life? Do I got to do it for 30 years before someone actually says maybe it works? Gold is antiquated store of value. It peaked in the 19th century. It's not working. You can see it's not working. And the reason it doesn't work is because you can corrupt it. You can confiscate it. You can hypothecate it and lie about it, and try moving $100 million of gold or $10 million of gold through an airport when you decide you need to change jurisdictions, or, when a country decides to tax it. How are you going to move it? It'd take you a year and have hundreds of thousands of dollars. So gold is this 5,000-year-old idea of a bearer instrument of value, or apex money. If everybody in the world with money agreed they were going to use gold, the gold standard, it might sort of work, but it's too slow for the 21st century, probably too slow for the 20th century. So people moved away from it, and we've replaced it with something better, moves at the speed of light that you can program. Smart money, pure monetary energy